Hey, real quick, guys, before we get to the show, I have to tell you about my friends at Columbus Pro Handyman. You know, times are tough right now. Prices are rising. Columbus is the fastest growing city in America. And with that comes high construction prices. If you need anything done around your house, like appliance install, remodels, simple repairs, or complex projects, your cost is going way up in general, and especially in the Columbus area. So my friends at Columbus Pro Handyman can give you a lot better prices than the big guys. Call them up, 614-887-6360, 614-887-6360. Find them at columbusprohandyman.com for anything you need around your house, office, or business facility. These guys can hook you up and give you a great price. Tell them Johnny from Scarlet and Great sent you, and you can even get a discount that way of 10%. So call the folks up at Columbus Pro Handyman. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Ohio State Football with Scarlet and Great. Real quick, if you love, and I mean absolutely love, watching Michigan lose, subscribe to this channel because we are going to talk about each and every loss. They've had a lot so far, and they have even more coming. And I hate to say I told you so, but I don't hate to say I told you so. I told you so. Michigan looking to finish 6-6, maybe even 5-7. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how Jim Harbaugh left the program, the sanctions to come, and how bad things really are for that team up north. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you are a Michigan fan, please comment below on. I'd like to hear your side of the story. Your fan base is very spectacular at mental gymnastics and justifying things. Jim Harbaugh could shoot somebody in the face right in front of you, and you would justify it. They could be, you know, a leader at a local church who was squeaky clean, and you would still justify it. It could be a young child, and you would say, well, I hate kids. Anyway, you're marvelous at it too. So please continue your justification of everything in the comment section below. I have a little bit of a confession to make, guys. Maybe I'm a little bit of a closet Michigan fan. So Michigan fans, I'm going to tell you the truth. Now, I'm a Buckeye fan first and foremost, and I hate Michigan. I do. I hate the team. But as an outdoorsman, the state's really nice to go to. I'm a fisherman. There's a fantastic smallmouth bass fishing. It's probably the best state for that. There's a lot of deer hunting going on there. It's a beautiful state in some ways. And I just feel bad. I feel bad for the governor you elected. But again, you have a dumb fan base and dumb people electing politicians. I want good things for Michigan, but you got played. And the thing is, you got played by Jim Harbaugh, and while he was playing you liked it. I first have to say this. Let's look at the record from start to finish of Jim Harbaugh. By the way, Michigan lost again this weekend. Justify that. Jim Harbaugh, he starts out at Michigan as the savior. Gets blown out by Ohio State in 2015. Runs a close game in 2016. Loses in 17. Loses in 18 when they were supposed to win. Gets absolutely blown out. Gets beat pretty bad in 19. You're looking at 0-5 now. 2020, that's the year Ryan Day, by the way, said he was going to hang 100 on him. Michigan doesn't show up for the game. Holds practice that weekend, but claims they can't play because of COVID. Just a sad and embarrassing way. And I don't think that was Jim Harbaugh. I think that was probably more, Harbaugh, for all his faults, he'll show up and take his butt whipping a lot of times. You could convince me he didn't want to play that game for the obvious reasons, going 0-6 and likely getting fired. Then you come to the table and you say, Jim, you're not worth it anymore. He takes, his contract's cut in half. Enter Connor Stalions. You'll say, oh, but Jesse Minter left. New defensive coordinator was hired, and yet the defense still stayed good. I will tell you, Connor Stalions was on the team then, and all defensive coordinators are really all defensive coordinators
really know, really good when they know what play is coming. They are. You look at Ohio State, you see how hard it is to get defensive coordinators. You think you got 2 in a row that were just dynamite. Look at Michigan now. Look at the defense now. I mean, it's better than the offense, but look at it. You don't just get good hire, good hire, good hire. You say, oh, we're Michigan, we're great at hiring. No, you're not. Look where you just came from. So, all that, during this time, Michigan's getting a lot better. During this time, Jim Harbaugh starts taking interviews for NFL positions. You say, oh, he was just, he didn't take the jobs. Yes, because he was not offered them. How do I know? Well, that's weird. Your contract's cut in half, and all of a sudden you start taking positions. You wanted to leave because, how do I know? When you reach the pinnacle of the sport, the pinnacle, a national championship, you got a committable offer, a real job offer, and you took it. Who does that? Who says, can you name me in the last, 30 years, 25 years, since 2020? And I know Michigan fans are big history buffs because that's all they have. You want to go back to 2000, name me somebody that's won a national championship and then left the program. Why would you do that? Why would you reach the pinnacle of the sport and say, hey, I want to go do something else? You got it figured out. You could get a big if you truly did this on the up and up and no bad things were coming, why would you leave? Why would you leave when you got to the pinnacle? And only then. Nick Saban, you can't say, well, I learned. You will say, Michigan fans, you'll prove your stupidity in the comments and say, he reached the pinnacle. He doesn't like to recruit. He wants to go to the NFL and do that. How come Saban never took an NFL contract? Why did Urban never take an NFL job while he was at the pinnacle of the sport? Right after winning a national championship. Why didn't Ed Orgeron do it? They probably didn't even shop for it. Why didn't Dabo Swinney do it? It's because that's not what you do when it's on the up and up. You say, I'm going to come back and build and win another one next year. Jim was going to leave as as someone who wants good things for Michigan, because I have a soft spot for the state in my heart. I don't want good things against Ohio State. I can see it for what it is. You had a coach that played you the whole time. Case in point, look where we're at now. 6-6. You told me Sherrone Moore was awesome. If I told you going into the season at this point you'd be 4-3 and the team looks absolutely lost, you'd say, no, Moore is this. I saw the other day a tweet from a Michigan fan. You want to say you're not stupid? How about this tweet? He said, I'm shocked at all the Buckeye fans that think Ohio State's ceiling is 3 or Michigan's ceiling is 8-4. Why? Because you believe the delusion. Because you believe everything you're sold. They just spoon feed it to you like little babies in a high chair, and you just gobble it right up. It's pathetic. It really is. We are right about all of this, and you are wrong. Case in point, we predicted the season would go poorly. You said it would not. The season is going poorly. You can't hide from that. And you act like, why would you make these predictions? We're so good at football. Connor left. Jim left you with all. And now, the sanctions to come. It's going to get worse, Michigan. Some of my friends, I think you beat Michigan State this weekend. Some of my friends don't. They don't trust you. They say that, it's going to be pretty bad. Because your offense is so poor. Michigan State's offense is really poor too. I just don't trust Sparty in that game. Comment below who you think will win. Michigan or Michigan State. I'm just going to say this about the sanction. A lot of you are saying, oh, the hammer's supposed to have been coming for a long time. It never does. There's called due process. Although Michigan and Jim Harbaugh, again, man, it hurts me to say his name because what he did to you guys. I like him as a Wolverine killer, but he can get a spot here next to Urban. I put him on my Mount Rushmore of Buckeye greats. Mount Rushmore of Buckeye greats who killed Michigan Jim Tressel, Urban Meyer, Woody Hayes, Jim Harbaugh. That's my Mount Rushmore. What's yours? I'd like to know your thoughts on that. Is that a good Mount Rushmore? But the sanctions are certainly coming, even though Jim Harbaugh, remember, the Big Ten wrote a letter to Michigan and told them the NCAA knows and can prove, and then they list the item, and those are bad, guys. You can justify it all you want. Those are bad. That's worse than what Tattoo-Gate in 2011 and ended up in vacated wins. That's worse than what USC got smacked for. You were directly trying to change the game. Disguises really going into other stadiums and other sidelines to get, come on. Guys, that's really bad. Even though, I'm going to explain to you the delay. Because you seem to say, a lot of people say, oh, the hammer's coming, but it never came. The NCAA has to do their due diligence with this long investigation. Then they have to compile everything and make sure it's on the up and up. Again, it's not just you guys at Walmart filing up some paperwork at your local DMV who's screaming, go blue! It's got to be a little more refined than that, so it takes time. I hope you can understand that. It's got to be refined, unlike your arguments of why Michigan football is great and never did anything wrong. So the NCAA turns this in, and then they give you, out of the goodness of their heart, 90 days to respond to defend yourself. If you say that nothing was coming and there were, but the NCAA kind of offered a deal. There's a term they use, it escapes me, for certain people, certain violators. Those were some low-level violators. I think Denard Robinson and a few others. Negotiated resolution, I think, is kind of like a plea deal. Moore, the university, Harbaugh, they're not offered these things because what they did was really bad. If there was a deal to be had, wouldn't the university take it now? Look how bad your team is. Wouldn't the university just say, hey guys, just look, we'll vacate all these wins. You can smash us this year. We won't even, no Big Ten accolades, nothing. We won't, even if we went 12-0, could you imagine? Even if, I could see the university saying that. If we went 12-0 still, no Big Ten game for us, no Big Ten championship, no playoff. Maybe we'll probably even take the playoffs from us next year. Hands up, we surrender. That would be a good deal. Michigan wasn't offered that deal. They would take that in a heartbeat. So the hammer is coming. The hammer of justice. Jim Harbaugh's at minimal, guys. I will tell you best case scenario. At minimal, 3 years of wins will be vacated. Ohio State's record versus Jim Harbaugh will stand at 8 wins, 0 losses, and 1 no-show. That's why he gets a freaking spot on the wall. That's why Jimmy gets a spot on Mount Rushmore. 8 wins to the Buckeyes, no losses, and 1 time he was afraid to show up, or the university, or the whoever, right? These are the facts, and they are undeniable. Michigan is so far beyond repair right now. It's just going to get worse. I will tell you, I think you beat Sparty this weekend. And I think you win the Northwestern game. After that, I mean, you got an L to Ohio State. You got a big L to Oregon. That's going to be really bad, guys. You have Indiana is turning the tide in that rivalry. You may say you never had a rivalry. They always played you tough, and they did beat you back in 2020. That's going to happen again, pending Indiana's healthy. It's just going to keep on coming. And I have to look, but your 90 days, the clock is ticking. It's not instant. Again, it's not just turning in, it's not a return order to Walmart. That stuff's real easy. You can say I have no receipt, and it just came in the box broken, and you very clearly tried to stick it in a toilet and flush it, and it was already, you tore it up. I know Walmart takes it back. It's not like that. It takes some time, but rest assured, you are going to get hammered. Come back and see us next time. As always, goodbye, God bless, and go Bucks.